I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners regular meeting for January 23, 2019. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Present.
Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
So tonight is a very special night, as you can tell not only from the crowd, but we do not have many of these evenings where we have promotions, and we're thrilled to be able to do this. The Pledge of Allegiance tonight, I would like to ask the Civil Service Committee members who are able to join us, Dan Reevy and Joe McGurman, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, not to exclude Jack Hoy. He unfortunately was not able to make it, but he does a fantastic job as well. These are the three that lead us from the Civil Service perspective, and we're thrilled that they're there. They do a great job, and thank you for all the hard work. So if you would, lead us this evening. So again, thank you to the three of you. All right, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Rogers. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get to the fun stuff, folks. Consent items. Is there a motion to move the consent items listed in the agenda into the record?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrews, second by Commissioner Rogers. Those consent items are the Board of Commissioners regular meeting minutes for December 12, the Board of Commissioners workshop meeting minutes of January 9, Treasurer's report for the month of January, and bills payable. Paid bills in the amount of $829,523.34, and unpaid bills in the amount of $329,210.19. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those items into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, those are moved into the record. All right, do we have citizens' comments? We have any citizens' comments on agenda items only? I think everybody is happy to be here, but I think they all want to move right on to the event. Young man, later I can explain to you all the different things we're doing tonight, so that all of this makes sense, okay? All right, so we have two fantastic special items. Chief, if you would like to join me. Well, you know what, why don't I make the motion for approval for both items first? We'll handle the housekeeping, and then we'll go down and do the ceremonial items. Okay, so we have two great things this evening. First is the promotion to Lieutenant of Detective Sergeant Jay Cirillo. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrews, second by Commissioner Rogers. I'll call a question. All in favor of that promotion to Lieutenant, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Second item, motion for approval. Is there a motion for approval of the promotion to Detective Sergeant of Detective Richard Hoffner?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Rogers. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that motion is also approved. Okay, now the ceremonial fun stuff. Actually, now, Lieutenant Cirillo, would you like to join us with your family members over at the podium?
Before we get started, you will see some shocking things here this evening. You're going to see two detectives in police uniforms. So everybody maintain themselves. I know it's unusual, but
Okay, so I learned tonight that I have the authority to swear in individuals in this circumstance, which I've never done before. So this is not only exciting for you, but it's the first time for me. So Jay, we're thrilled yes, absolutely, we're thrilled all around. So you have the Bible. Place your right hand on the Bible and repeat after me. I, John Cirillo,
I, John Cirillo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey,
the ordinances of Hatfield Township
the ordinance of Township
and Hatfield Borough,
and Hatfield Borough,
and perform the duties of lieutenant
and perform the duties of lieutenant
impartially and to the best of my ability.
impartially and to the best of my.
This is my moral obligation
This is my moral obligation
and sworn duty,
and sworn duty,
and I pledge to never betray
and I pledge to never betray
my badge,
my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
Congratulations.
Almost got through. Yes.
Okay. People who have been around here before have probably heard me say this, and I will say it again. I think it's a nice way of presenting these items. One of the ways we want to say thank you and congratulations is to talk about people and embarrass them a little bit publicly and have some fun. Not too much, though. But let me tell you a little bit about Jay. Well, first, let me tell you that from a commissioner's perspective, there isn't much better than Jay. I've been on the board for 10 years now, and I've known him that entire length of time. So when I see him out in the public, when I see him here in the office, when I see him over at the station, there's a certain comfort level that a commissioner has who, our job is to hope that everything works out for the entire township and act in the best interest of the township. But when we know that we have people like Jay around, it's easy because I've seen him at like a parade or a public event, and literally I feel as though when I see him, I say, okay, we're covered, we're good, everything is taken care of. And that means a lot, not just to us, those people who are hoping that everything works out, but also our residents, who I'm sure you interact with 1,000 times a year. And when they see you, they know that they're being protected, they're taken care of, and things are going to go well. And that is a significant benefit for us, and it's a wonderful thing, not only for you as a police officer, but as a human. So we're very proud of you, and we thank you for that. So I also get to talk about Jay a little bit, give you some background for those of you who don't know him. He's married to his wife, Carrie, 2 sons, Antonio and William. Guys, I whispered to your younger brother, and I'll say it now publicly. Tonight of all nights is the night when you go home. You shake your dad's hand, or you give him a hug, and you tell him you're proud of him. Because this is a big night for him, and it's really important to us, but really, it really is a testament to what a wonderful person he is. Okay? Can you do that for me? Good. Okay. He's got a bachelor's degree from Cabrini College. I've got 2 brothers that went to Cabrini, by the way. It's a great school. In sociology, and a master's degree from St. Joseph's in public safety management. He started with Hatfield Police in January 1997, which means he's a member of our family here in Hatfield for 21 years. He worked in patrol for his first 8 years until moving to detectives in 2005, and was an accident reconstructionist on the Highway Safety Unit, field training officer, and is a current coordinator for the Montgomery County Drug Task Force. He was also a former commander with the North Penn Tactical Team and is a current commander with the Montgomery County SWAT Team. That's just his pedigree. That's just the things that he's done. The truth is, the people in this room who know him not only as a great professional, but a wonderful person. So on behalf of the entire township and the commissioners in particular, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's his oath there.
Okay.
If anybody needs to know, that's Jay on the right. It's kind of scary.
That's the old building there. That's like the old ski lodge. When I remember the first time I went in there, I felt like I went into a ski lodge. All right, if Rich Hoffner's family, friends, everyone who came up, and Rich obviously, would come up and join us. Now, we're going to go very slowly, and for you probably painfully, but for us it's a lot of fun. Before I give you the oath of office, I do want to tell everybody that if you don't know who the family members are, we'll talk about that in a second, but Rich's dad is going to give him his badge in a minute, and he is a former member of the Cheltenham Police, right? And was here 20 years ago. 20 years ago, swearing him in. And so for those of you who are parents, especially dads out there, to think, especially if you have younger ones like I do, to think that you were there to swear in your son, which is just a fantastic moment in life, and then for 20 years later to be there and be a part of swearing in and to give him the badge when he becomes a detective sergeant, I really can't think of much bigger moments in life as a parent than right now. So this is a really big one for everybody. Wow.
That has an easy day.
All right. Rich, if you're ready, right hand on the Bible. I, Richard Hoffner,
I, Richard Hatfield,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support,
that I will
obey, and defend
obey and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
I will support,
I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the ordinances of Hatfield Township
the ordinances
and Hatfield Borough,
and Hatfield Borough,
and perform the duties of Detective Sergeant
and perform
impartially
impartially
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best.
This is my moral obligation
This is my moral
and sworn duty,
and sworn,
and I pledge to never
and I pledge to never
betray my badge,
betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're his dad, you can do whatever you want.
If anybody couldn't tell by Rich's oath of office, he's an ex-Marine. So you can tell the words coming out of his mouth. He means it.
Still time, there's still time to do it.
I just remember 21 years ago standing here. That's all I could get out.
Night if you like. Okay. Some information about Rich for those of you who don't know him. Everyone in the room I think does, but notwithstanding. United States Marine Corps veteran. Thank you for your service. Hired on May 18th, 1998. That means he's been a member of our Hatfield family for 20 years. He's married to his wife Venus with 4 children, Jason, Ian, Emily, and John. Also, important, shake Dad's hand, give him a hug. Tell him how much you love him, tell him that you're proud of him. It's a big moment, okay? Served 12 years in the Uniform Patrol and was a former officer in charge. Served 15 years on a regional SWAT team and a former team leader and he's been a detective since 2010. And much like Jay, when you see him out in the public, out in the field, in the office, or here in the or here in the municipal building, you know good things are happening. You know that we're safe. You know that we're protected, and you know that things are being done right. You really can't ask for two better people, not only as professionals, but as humans. So, Rich, we can't thank you enough for the last 20 years. The things that you've done, the things that you will do. And we're really, really pleased to have your family here, especially your pop. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
This next part should only take about an hour and a half, so settle in. So Jay and Rich are kind of joined at the hip. Jay's badge 34, Rich's badge 35, and as you've already heard, they're about a year and a couple months apart from one another and starting on the department. It's not easy being a detective, as they're not quite regular officers and they're not quite administration, yet the chief is constantly asking them to do things, and they're kind of in between everything. Jay's been a great detective and a wonderful leader of the detective division. He's led Rich and others, the new wave of officers, or detectives, just like Dan Tinney and Rich, are now helping our newest detective, Bill Steinberg, learn the field. I can say that never having been a detective, it's easy to get the sense that they're prima donnas, and they are. There's no doubt. Detectives are prima donnas. You quickly overcome that thought, though, when you see what it is that they do, the troubled waters that they steer you through. While patrol is the heartbeat of the department, detectives are the guardian of the gate. And I sincerely mean that, and I've learned that since I've been chief. These guys are always there for all of us. At like the darkest hour, you're like, what do we do? And they're digging and finding, and they're helping you out. And we've had some great guardians of our gate. The lineage of our detectives, Sergeant Mike Murphy, Chief Ed Justice, Chief Bob Stanley, Chief Mark Toomey, Lieutenant Jim McGowan. I can't even believe it, I gotta say Corporal Pat Hanrahan. And this, Pat and Dan Tinney. These people have been wonderful folks representing this police department out in the field. They've been great detectives, and they have really, I'm very proud of that division in itself, what we've had through the years. And now, Detective Sergeant Hoffner and Lieutenant Sorella. These guys are the right guys. If you're ever considering a life of crime, Hatfield is not the place to do it. You will be caught because of these guys. In continuing his climb on the department, Jay will be attending the FBI National Academy in April. And a word about Rich. I am confident he could solve the Lindbergh kidnapping if given the opportunity. This guy is the best of the best, and he is ours. Side note, Jay and Jane, Lieutenant Robertson and Lieutenant Sorella now, and I were on a squad when I was a corporal. We had a great squad back then, and I think working together again, we'll be a great squad this time around too. I look forward to it. And as far as the folks in the back, my hecklers like Chief Bendig and so on, I know you're heckling. I usually end what I say up here with how proud I am of our department. And I have to tell you, in this regard, I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of our Board of Commissioners. I'm proud of our civil service people, our manager, our borough council. All these people serve to make Hatfield Township what it is, and I think all of us are proud to be working with them. We have a magnificent group of people here in the Hatfield community. Thank you to all you guys in the back. And there's refreshments in the side room if you'd like to go back. I think this guy wants to say something. He's rooting around over here.
Briefly. Very briefly. Just to echo the chiefs before I get started. Rich has been my right hand for many years. He's passed on other promotional processes to stay with me because of this dream, and he's the right guy for it. I would like to think that I've done great things in detectives, but the sky's the limit with Rich at the helm. So I couldn't be more proud of Rich Hoffner. Congrats, Rich. Just briefly, I think we have half the Montgomery County SWAT team here. You're in the safest place in Montgomery County tonight. And I know these guys want to get out of here, so bear with me, guys. I certainly appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the opportunity the chief has given me here. The township commissioners, Aaron sits quietly over there. We're very, very fortunate to have somebody like Aaron as a township manager. He's certainly the best that I've ever been around. I certainly won't let you down. To my family, my mom and dad are here. I would not be here tonight, certainly in this capacity, without the two of them. My mom was the hugger, motivator when I grew up, and also knew when to give me a good kick in the pants. I was a little bit of a pain in the neck growing up. She'll tell you otherwise, but she was my inspiration. And my father, coach, best friend, best man at my wedding, and he's here again with me tonight, so they mean the world to me. And certainly the three in the front row, my two boys and my wife, they are my everything. So lucky to have them. I don't know what I would quite do without them. They're a phenomenal support system, as you certainly need in this profession. We've had a little bit of a rocky stretch over the last few years, and we made it through, and a lot of that had to do with the support I got at work and the support I got from my friends here. So she's in the clear. We're doing great. She's doing great. And she was an inspiration to watch. So lucky to have her. As the SWAT guys say, I'll kick my coverage getting this one. And just wrapping up, I appreciate everybody coming out. My SWAT family in the back, former North Penn guys or the current Montgomery County SWAT people. You are an absolute pleasure to work with and lead. The ultimate professionals, and as Steve Cameron mentioned earlier, I expected nothing less than the SWAT team to come out. It's a culture we have, and I appreciate everybody's support. You're the utmost professionals. And to the Hatfield family I have, I look forward to working with you. I've been out of patrol a long time. 2005 was the last time I was in uniform, and this is snug. If a button comes flying, it's Hoffner's, it's not mine, but I'm kind of on a crash diet for the last 2 weeks to get into these pants. But I just look back to the last 22 years, and if I could do it over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I remember driving to the Montgomery County Community College for a consortium test with 900 applicants, and Hatfield called and gave a 22-year-old kid a chance. And I came into town, realized that there was a road in the middle of town named after a farm animal with cow path, and my dad said, give it a chance, kid, and if you don't like it, you can come back home. And here I am 22, 23 years later, and I love it here. This is my family. I wish Bill Chapman and Tom Starner were here tonight, but I'm sure they're looking down and they're proud. So thanks again for the support.
Said, there's refreshments in the community room, so if you could lead the charge back there, Jane, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Hey, Chief, you promised us an hour and a half. You got another hour and 10 minutes to go.
I just burned through all my time. I yield my time to you, the gentleman from Hatfield.
Take it out.
This great crowd is welcome to stay and watch us do our business.
You only get 6 minutes out of me.
Or you can go have fun.
We're only gonna have Ray.
That's Eric in the back. Yeah. And Eric is, I saw him over here. Right there.
Oh, on the,
That's Dick Lewis, Jim Thomas.
oh, I have to see younger pictures. That's amazing. That's really. Go easy with this one. Should I get out my laser pointer?
Get me in trouble. Yeah, right. You're out of control.
Okay, we have 3 action items that we're going to take care of before we close out our meeting. No one here is interested in these 3 action items, but that's okay.
What happened to Tina and Bob? Where's Tina and Bob?
Hey, you know what, they emailed me, they have,
Okay.
You got Ray and Barbara back there.
okay. All right.
I bet you can't get through it before the last guy leaves. Go.
We have 3 items, 3 quick action items. All right, let's jump right in and see if we can do it. Is there, first is an action item related to the Cowpath or Villa traffic signal modification, Resolution 19-01. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion made.
Motion by Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner Andrus. Aaron, do you want to walk us through this?
Good, sure. If you like it. I've never felt so important in my life right now. This is just modifying the traffic signal permit for Cowpath or Villa in order to prepare for the upcoming construction for the realignment. That's all.
Okay.
Come soon
All right, any questions or comments? If not, I will call the question. For those of you who are watching, this is a housekeeping item, so I'll call the question. All in favor of Resolution 19-01, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Second, ordinance number 685. Is there a motion for approval for the Delaware Valley Regional Finance Authority Capital Improvement Loan?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Rogers. Aaron, if you'd walk us through this housekeeping item as well.
Sure, Mr. President. Good news on this loan. Township's borrowing roughly $700,000 for capital improvements over the next 5 years. This loan will fund the repaving all the trails in School Road Park. It will fund a new roof for our detective unit and Public Works, new heater and cooling system for the same building, as well as many significant upgrades at the Aquatic Center. The good news is, as of today, the rate was 2.377, which is outrageously low. We'll lock in tomorrow, which should be right around there, I'm told. He can't predict that, but it's going to be under 2.4, which is unheard of right now. So, good news. It's just a 5-year capital improvement loan and just a short-term loan. Our debt load is already very low, which we've talked about, so it's nice to move forward on all these projects as budgeted.
That's great. This is finalizing what we've discussed over the last few months, and so this is locking in that rate, which sounds like it's a great rate. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor of Ordinance 685, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Last action item, Resolution 19-02. Is there a motion for approval with regard to the Emergency Operation Plan Update?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner
Second.
Andrus, second by Commissioner Rogers. Aaron, if you'd walk us through this last item tonight.
I think, Commissioners, now's the time to slip anything through. There's no one listening to us, but not that we have anything to slip through. This last item, Mr. President, is simply a housekeeping item. A requirement from the county simply states that the township has a working emergency operation plan. We have a designated employee to oversee that, Mike Waldron, the emergency management coordinator. I will need every commissioner's signature when we are finished to send back to the county, just confirming what I mentioned. So it's a simple housekeeping item.
This is not something you're trying to slip through with our signatures on it, is it?
This is a 35-year contract for myself.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem. Yeah.
Gladly sign that.
We'd be okay with that, I think.
We'll work. We'll write that.
All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of Resolution 19-02, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, any citizens' comments for the 2 or 3 remaining people in the room? Seeing none, unless there's anything else, commissioners?
One in
You
there,
got
just
anything?
one.
1, 2 people left?
Public Works update?
I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Andrus. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.